end zone. He's got Simpkins caught in for the touchdown. Deshaun Simpkins with the snag.
Looking up to Sims Marshall. Home run down for Jalen Marshall. He's got a touchdown.
As we bid you hello here in Beckett Ridge tonight, along with Uncle Kev, Kevin Zilch. I'm Geoff Kim. Thanks for joining us here. Week 12 action here on Chatterbox Plus. Tonight is the 3 seed in Region 4, Lakota West, against the 6 seed in Milford, the Eagles. Birds of a feather flock together, and Kev, maybe it's just for only 48 minutes, but tonight those birds will come together, and it should be a good one tonight.
Oh, absolutely, Jeff. Really excited to see this Milford squad come out here against this powerful Lakota West offense and defense as well. So really excited. Week 2 of the playoffs, man, doesn't get much better than this.
And we'll step aside here for the nation's anthem and come back to you here after the short timeout here on Chatterbox Plus. And if you're ready now, we'll give you the starting lineups here in this ball game, powered by Cintas. Over 1 million businesses rely on Cintas, so get Cintas and get ready for the workday. The Milford Eagles come in with a record of 7-4. Their head coach is Tom Grippa in his 5th year with the program at 29-19, and his 30th year overall, including stops at Elder, Fairfield, and LaSalle, 206 and 120. The quarterback for the Eagles tonight is Austin Harden. He'll be flanked at running back by Natwan Webster. The wide receivers are Luke Ray, Reese Davis, and Landon Wisby. The tight end is Bronson Holland. The tackles tonight are Logan Bartholomew and Trevor Ings. Wesley Prather and Scott Arnold are the guards, and Duncan McCrae is the center. On defense for Lakota West, the Firebirds at 9-1, 7-0 out of the Greater Miami Conference. Their head coach is 3rd-year skipper Tom Bolden, in with a record of 24-6 in his 15th year overall at 156 and 27. 3-3 look on defense. Brian Henderson, Owen Kaufman, and Elijah Davis up front. Mike Brandcamp will get the start tonight at linebacker, along with Aiden Miller and Jacob Asbeck. The cornerbacks are Jair Brown and Josh Fussell. Alex Safari and Ben Minnick, along with Malik Hartford, are the safeties. On the other side, we'll give you the Lakota West offense, and they will get the ball to start things off in this ball game. Mitch Bolden's the quarterback, flanked by running back Cam Good. The wide receivers are Jair Brown, Trent Lloyd, and Ben Minnick. The tight end is Anderson Simpson. The tackles are Tegra Shabola and Lathan McComas. Eric Cifuentes and Caden Fletcher are the guards. Tony Curtis is the center. It's a 33 look as well for the Milford Eagles on defense. Will Riesenberg and Trevor Ings are the defensive ends. Nick Klink is the defensive tackle. The 3 linebackers, Tofo Luwani, James Teagarden, and Danny McCoy. And the 5 in the backfield, Taj Price and Jackson Stickle are the corners. And the safeties are Jacob Smith, Toto Luwani, and Rob Mickler. Time now for our keys to the ball game. Time to zero in with Zilch.
So yeah, Jeff, our week 2 playoffs keys to the game for Milford. Really, you got to control the clock. Hold on to that football. Keep that Mitch Bolden and his offense on the sideline all night long. How are you going to do that? You're going to have to run the football a lot. And then you got to limit your mistakes. I would say, actually, I'm going to X out the word limit. I'm going to say you cannot have any mistakes tonight if you're going to want to have a chance to beat Milford. No penalties, no turnovers. And then do something different, especially on the defensive side of the football. One thing that I would start to do to try and attack, this tough defensive line is start switching up some things on the front end, do some more stunts like that, especially on the defensive side. And talking to Coach Grippa earlier, looks like we're going to see some different things on both sides of the football for the Eagles. And then for Lakota West, start fast. That's one thing that they've done very well. They did it last week. They've done it all year long. But tonight is one of these games where you cannot let Milford just hang around. And as you can see, Lakota West taking the field right now. And then get the ball in the hands of the playmakers. Getting the ball to Trent Lloyd, Jair Brown, and Cam Good. If you get the ball in those guys' hands throughout the night, you're going to be very successful. And then finish the game strong. Okay, and what I mean by that is we talked about it last week where we've seen their offense at times throughout the season flutter a little bit, especially around the goal line or in the red zone areas. So you want to be able to finish strong if you're Lakota West, especially going into what will be a big game next week. So you want to be able to really, really finish strong for the Lakota West Firebirds. And, Jeff, those are my keys to the game.
Lakota West comes in as the champions in the GMC. 7-0 in the conference, 9-1 overall. They've won 9 in a row, which is a school record. We'll talk a little bit more about that during the broadcast. Meanwhile, out of the Eastern Cincinnati, Milford finished fourth in the conference with a 5-3 record, 7-4 overall. They've won 2 in a row. They come off a very nice win a week ago, getting past the 11th seed Lebanon, 21-7. Natejuan Webster had 65 yards and a touchdown on 12 carries. The last time out for Lakota West, well, they blew out a team that they've seen twice this year, also out of the ECC, in West Claremont, the 14th seed, 49-14. Just another day at the office for Mitch Bolden. 10 of 15, 200 yards, 3 touchdowns, including 2 to his favorite target, Trent Lloyd. And then he also, for good measure, added a rushing touchdown in the first quarter. Yeah,
and I'll tell you what, from start to finish, that first half was just, unbelievable. And you and I even were talking about last night, you kind of stopped and were like, wow, that was a lot of points. You don't even realize it as we're broadcasting, but they scored 35 points in that second quarter alone. So, if they continue down that path, Jeff, of just absolute dominance on the offensive side of the football, this is a team that is in position to make a deep run. One thing, though, tonight, you cannot let a team like Milford hang around. If you let a team like Milford hang around, it's not going to be exactly a great game from start to finish. Lakota West knows that they have the talent to do this here tonight and to get this win, but they got to start fast and they got to get the ball in the hands of their players.
Waiting Lakota West to get out onto the field to return. We expect to see defensively, or at least as far as the deep return men, as easy as 1, 2, 3. Number 1, Jair Brown, up to the top of your screen, or what will be the top of your screen, and 2, Alex Safari towards the bottom. Set to go here in the quarterfinals here in Region 4 here in Beckett Ridge. Should be a good one under good conditions. 49 degrees at game time with winds just about 4 miles per hour. So it's a steady breeze, but nothing more. And again, a gorgeous orange sunset here in Beckett Ridge tonight. As we get this one underway, away we go. A little low squibber taken by one of the upmen at the 30, up to the 40, out to the 45, out to midfield, and a great starting spot here for the Lakota West.
Well, that's an interesting kickoff right there. I'm taking a wild guess they're going to want to try to keep it out of the hands of Jair Brown back there as much as they possibly can all night. But one thing you do with that, Jeff, is you give up really good field position, so the West is going to have a really nice starting spot.
And when the return man in this case is Ben Minnick.
Yeah.
And obviously he had a return of 20 to get things started. 1st and 10, Mitch Bolden, Money Mitch. He's a 63% passer to start this year, or actually in this year, as we are in now week 12. Milford showing blitz on the outset, and Bolden back to pass on play number 1. A deep one here, caught! 10-5 down to the 2-yard line. 1st and goal coming up. Mercy.
Well, that's one way to start things right there, Jeff. I'll tell you what, holy cow.
So Price makes a tackle on Alex Safari. 1st and goal coming up on a 48-yard completion down to the big man, who started out the Fairfield game in a similar vein. 1st and goal, they're going to spot it officially at the 1, and it's a full house. And before they can go towards the goal line, we've got a whistle-stopping play. And it's a false start against Lakota West. James George told you about it. He's the referee tonight. The umpire is Chris Burns. Jack Schmeezing is the linesman, the head linesman tonight. The linesman is Jamie Harding. The back judge is Jason Arthur. And the center judge is Sean Isaac. So they'll back up 5, 1st and goal from the 6. Just getting underway, and you mentioned a fast start, partner, and you can't get much faster than that.
No, you really cannot.
Regular set on the offense, 1st and goal. Bolden looking to throw right, throwing right, complete right, touchdown! So Trent Lloyd picks up where he left off a week ago.
Take a look right here, yep. I think we call him a New York Diner. He's always open, man, and there it is right there. And what I love about him is he's able to fight for that touchdown. He got the ball right at the goal line, was able to put his whole body forward and stretch out for that touchdown. So another really fast start here for the Firebirds.
On the kick is Hannah Duncan. Hannah is 23 of 24, kicking extra points this year. The kick is up and away and good. 7-0, just that fast here in Beckett Ridge on a two-play drive that takes a minute, 50 yards, capped off by the touchdown pass to Trent Lloyd. And boy, has he been hot. That's his 5th touchdown in the last 3 weeks, including this week for Money Mitch. That's his 18th touchdown pass this year.
Well, you know, we were talking about just the development of Mitch Bolden throughout the year. And, you know, where he started and where he's at right now. I mean, the way he's placing the ball and his ball placement and the way that has improved, I mean, it just shows you what type of athlete that he is. To be able to come out of baseball where he's, you know, that's a completely different throwing motion, come in here now and deliver dimes like we just saw right there. I mean, Mitch is a truly special quarterback that he can do that.
So that you can stay connected.
So we see the return man out there. Taj Price will be at the top of your screen. He's to the right. And then Jackson Stickle, the cornerback, out on the near hash mark. And Tyler Bond to kick things away from his own 40. And it's a pinwheeling kick taken by Stickle at the 2. 10, 15, angles back down the hash, now goes back outside, past the 20. And a good return for Jackson Stickle, a return of 20.
Jackson Stickle.
Well, now, Jeff, we're going to see this potent Firebirds defense come into play now. And, I mean, I'll tell you what, you want to talk about this has got to be probably one of the top defenses in the state, if not the top defense in the state.
A 33 defense with a 5 guys defensive backfield. 3 of which have 4-star players. Alex Afari, Jair Brown, and Malik Hartford. 1st and 10 at the 22. And a pass play to start things off. Now it's out of the run, and a good start here. A modest pickup for the quarterback, Austin Harden, who is a 55% passer this year, 1,434 yards, 10 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. He has a rating of 114.7. 2nd down.
5-yard gain on the carry. 2nd down and 5.
So we'll call it 2nd and 5. West showing blitz, and they'll reset. Harden flanked by Nitwan Webster. And now the quarterback keeping off the left end. Alex Afari lays a lick on him, and boy, he has been doing that a lot lately to bring up 3rd down.
I'll tell you what, Alex Afari, from that safety rover position in this 3-3-5, it sets him up, that type of athlete, perfectly for what he's able to do. He's a hard hitter. He can fly around the football, and he has freedom within this 3-3-5 defense. You know, a defense that was developed by Steve Specht over at St. X and has literally carried itself throughout the whole Southwest Ohio high school region.
Gain of 4 for the quarterback, Harden. 3rd and 1, and a big 3rd down early on as Webster at the line met, and this is going to be close. I think he has the 1st down by half the length of the football.
Looks like he got it there. And, you know, one thing I'm seeing is that we talked with Coach Grippa early on in the game. They're going to do some things different. We saw an option play there early on. Those things aren't necessarily in their repertoire exactly week in and week out, so this would be interesting.
They go triples to the bottom of your screen, very heavy on that side, the short side. Webster, this year, 755 yards rushing. 1st down for the quarterback, and this one complete out at the 43-yard line, awfully close to a 1st down, and that is 7. Reese Davis, no relation to the ESPN host.
Well, it's interesting. You run trips bunch to the boundary. In other words, to the sideline. You leave Reese all alone on the back side, one-on-one coverage, and they were able to get inside leverage on the defensive back.
And Harden, again, going back to Davis, and complete, and he's got a 1st down. Just a little waggle over the middle to move the chains.
Yeah, and that's almost one of those little tunnel screens that we see, and Lakota West runs it very well. But again, Milford put himself a little bit of a drive here right now.
They go 4 wide, trips to the near side in a triangle, a pyramid formation for the quarterback Austin Harden. Luke Ray, Reese Davis, and Landon Wisby. On first down, the run play, Webster, and right into the heart of that defense. At the bottom is somebody that you would expect big, Brian Henderson. Or is that Elijah Davis? Was that 90?
That looked like it was Elijah Davis. I mean, that front three for Lakota West has been shutting down offensive lines all year long. Here's another unique formation, the 2x2 stack formation now.
And the throw to Davis, and it's incomplete. Out at the 45, and he was gonna feel some pain anyways from Alex Safari.
You might have heard footsteps there. Because, I mean, and that's why you run those stack formations. I'm not the biggest fan of it. I ran it in high school, and it kind of, I think, is a dead giveaway as to what you're going to be doing. 99% of the time, you're going to run some type of screenplay. But, very interesting. They've come out with a lot of different formations right now.
Third down coming up. Milford this year is 37%, 40 of 108. Conversely, defensively, Lakota West only gives up 25% defensively on third down this year. 27 of 109. Twins on each side. Actually, we go empty backfield. The quarterback, Harden, looking left, and he's dropped for a sack. Elijah Davis with the sack, and we'll see the punt team come up.
Well, right there, against a tough defense like Lakota West, I don't agree going 5 wide like that. You got to have protection. You got to keep a running back in there to pick up those type of blitzes that they run. Again, you just can't leave a quarterback out there really exposed against, you got, like we said, they have 3 4-star athletes on the field at one time on the defense, so you got to help your quarterback out a little bit.
Jacob Lucky is the punter. 38 yards per kick this year, and he shanked this one. A shankopotamus out to his own sideline, and great starting position here. I think officially 18 on the net.
If I'm Lakota West and Coach Bouchamp, a few rooms over to us, right now, okay, I got the first strike. We're striking it down quick and hard on the first drive. That's exactly what we wanted to do. We started fast. Now I'm going to start getting into my offense. I want to get into my game plan, start getting in that rhythm, because, we still got a lot of football left to play here. So that's what I'm going to do with this drive. I want a methodical drive down the field. I'd like to see Cam Good get the ball here a little bit more.
Well, especially since they didn't officially run a running play on that last drive. Twins to the bottom, and now you get your wish. It's good off the right side, and back to the line of scrimmage.
Handoff to number 25, Cameron Good.
Well, I got my wish, but I'll tell you what. They didn't have anywhere to go. Great job by that Milford defensive line up there, really just plugging all the holes.
Nick Klink, who's the defensive tackle, and he's got a lot of tackles this year, 56 of them. And you think about any defensive lineman who has that many tackles, that means he's always around the ball.
And that means he's also tracking things down from the backside. If you're at that defensive end position, that just shows you he's got some speed and some wheels to him. So keep an eye on that throughout the night.
Second and a long 8, closer to 9. Twins on each side. Gooden's in the backfield with Mitch Bolden. A high snap, looking to throw, complete again. And it'll bring up third down. So Mitch has been in rhythm. And he finds, again, Trent Lloyd for his second catch.
Well, that's a duo that we're going to see all night long. I'm kind of shocked that Milford isn't trying to cover up Lloyd, maybe run that safety over to his side, or shoot, even go maybe with two high free safeties just to get you help to cover him. And now, look, we're going to go double wides.
38% on third down this year. Down in distance. And Bolden, I think, on a sleight of hand and a keeper, and they didn't get much of anything. So it looks like it's going to be 3 and out. Or do they gamble here?
That's an interesting question there, and it looks like he might. Oh, looks like they're bringing on the punt team now. But personally, I probably would have, just to keep the momentum going. But that's an unusual unusual series right there, I should say, for Lakota West. At least we're not used to that here for the last couple weeks.
Well, are they going to go?
Oh, looks like they are.
They're going to go on a full house, the Rhino package. And Bolden off the left side, close to a first down. We're going to have to see the spot. We're covered up from our side because the vantage point is out to the far sideline.
Yep, and they gave it to him, so he got the first down. One thing I'll say about that play, though, that was a slow developing play. That wasn't as quick hitting as you normally see with a goal line or a short yardage situation with a jumbo package in. So, very interesting. I think they need to get that momentum going on offense right now, get in rhythm.
So a hard-fought one for Mitch Bolden, who came into the ball game with 546 yards on the ground. And here's the run for good, trying to run behind Cifuentes and Shabola, and Milford's really up to the challenge right now.
Well, I mean, you just look at the tackles across the front line. You had mentioned early, 40 tackles for Will Rosenberg, 56 tackles for Nick Klenk. I mean, those two combined right there, when you see that many tackles, you know that they are able to plug some holes on the defensive line. So right now, Lakota West has got to get in that offensive rhythm. They got to figure it out here.
Gain of 2, and they empty out the backfield. Bolden looking, throwing, completing. Out to the far sideline, and again, close to another first down. And this time they get Brown for his first catch of the night. That's his 20th catch of the year. He had been held without catches the last couple of games. Nice to see Jair on the offensive side get a ball.
That's a very good point. We had not called his name out, at least on the offensive side of the ball, very much over the last couple of weeks. So good to see him kind of get back in this rhythm of the offense.
3rd and 2. They need the 39 for the line to gain with 3:24 on the clock. And again, they empty out the backfield for Bolden. 3 to the bottom of your screen. A high snap, and Bolden will keep up the middle, has a first down. Out across the 35-yard line, move the chains.
That's maybe the 2nd or 3rd high snap we've seen, so we're going to have to really pay attention to that. Tony Curtis, the center there, going to have to figure out what's going on because that could prove. And one thing I'll say as a former offensive lineman, when those high snaps start happening, you'd be shocked at how often that carries throughout the entire game. It's a mental thing.
And they move Brown to the sideline, and we'll see if they go a little bit more conventional. It looks like Brown's back in the ball game. Triples to the bottom of your screen. On first down, Bolden to throw with time. He throws over the middle, complete. Afari with a second catch, down the sideline, inside the 20. 1st and 10 coming up. A heck of a move here for Alex Afari.
Well, I'll tell you what, the defensive backfield for Milford really caused some issues there for Mitch Bolden. Great job by the offensive line. Tegra Shabola out there on the left side getting great blocking. But yeah, Alex Afari, great pass to find him, but then he even had to fight for yards upfield to get that first down. So Milford's really doing some things different that I'm not sure Lakota West has seen on film yet.
Pickup of 19. They placed the ball at the 36, and we're in the Cincinnati Reds red zone. For breaking news and behind-the-scenes content, follow the Reds on social. 3 to the top side, throwing over the middle, complete out at the 2-yard line. So the passing game really humming to start things off tonight. And Lloyd gets yet another catch.
Well, Milford brought the house there, and that's why he kind of had to throw the football really quickly and didn't hit Lloyd in stride. Otherwise, Lloyd would be in the end zone right now. Milford really bringing the house here, really causing some disruptions on Lakota West. And Lakota West has been able to move the ball down the field because of the athletes they have, but it's going to be interesting right here.
1st and goal from the 2, an empty backfield, and Bolden looking to run with it to the goal line. 13-0 West. On a 2-yard scamper from Money Mitch Bolden, 13-0, have mercy.
We'll take a look at it right here, and you'll see they're going to go 5 wide. And we knew that they were going to start doing this, but a great job by Mitch Bolden. Gets the pump fake, dips his shoulder with the pump fake, and then right in, finds the seam and dives in for the end zone for the big touchdown for West.
We go to the left-footed kicker here on this point after attempt. Tyler Bond is good. Tyler is now 22 of 22 this year, and the score is now 14-0 On a 10-play drive that goes 59 yards, it takes off 4 minutes and 35 seconds off the clock. The 2-yard scamper, the keeper by Mitch Bolden, and that is his 9th rushing touchdown tonight this year.
Well, he's got that little bit of that dynamic duo, but I kind of reverted back to what I originally said at the start of that drive. That's what they needed. They want a 10-play methodical drive down the field. It was hard fought. Milford really made them earn every yard on that drive. Now, Lakota West, they're going to have to get on the film, get on the iPads, and start looking and seeing what they're doing differently than what they've seen. So they'll start settling things down. But if I'm Milford, keep that pressure on them. Keep doing things that they haven't seen before. Coach Grippa talked about that in the pregame to us. So they're going to start showing that more and more throughout the night. And hey, why not? This is the playoffs, right? And tomorrow is not guaranteed.
2:06 left to go here in this opening quarter, and Lakota West doing what Lakota West does, putting 14 on the board. They put 14 on the board in the first quarter a week ago against West Claremont. Stickle from the 7. And now he fakes the reverse, keeps it, angles to the right, has some space. Good yardage for young Mr. Jackson Stickle.
That reverse, I can tell you, that's one of the most dangerous things. When I was a special teams coordinator, that was one of the most fearful things because everything's happening so fast on the kickoff. You blink and that thing's gone. So you got to be disciplined. You got to keep your contain on both sides now that you know they're going to start doing that. So again, I like what Coach Grip is doing here now. He's down 14-0, but he's throwing the kitchen sink at Lakota West right now, and why not?
Well, he did mention trickeration, and while he didn't use that exact word, we were very keenly aware of what he was trying to do tonight. Down 14-0 and a dummy count, and we'll reset. Looking to the sideline. The quarterback is Austin Harden. Looking with time, now runs out of time, dropped out at the 21-yard line.
I'll tell you what, that was Jacob Asbeck on the blitz right there.
And Elijah Davis gets credit for the sack.
I mean, they were both in there, and they ran a perfectly timed blitz. Milford didn't even see it coming, so great job there by Coach Hall as the defensive coordinator, drawing up a perfectly timed blitz.
Loss of 8. Harden sets up the screen and dropped. Really good reaction for West as they try to go to the scat back out there, Sawyer Kopp.
Oh, literally, the guy was just sitting right there for Lakota West. That was probably the easiest tackle he's ever had in a Friday night football game.
So 3rd, and we'll call it 15 as we come up on 1 minute left to go here in this opening quarter. Our first 12 minutes as far as game clock is concerned so far here in this contest. The quarterfinals here in Region 4. And a long look over. How much is on the play clock? 7 on the play clock. They're going to have to hurry a little bit. 3 on the play clock, and Harden gets the ball. He throws out to the sideline, and it's nearly picked off. Intended for Wisby, and it was trying to see. I think it was Fussell who actually deflected it away.
And I'll tell you what, he put everything he had on underneath that football. He wound up and really tried to huck that thing down the field. So, Milford, I think Lakota West has kind of figured Milford out a little bit defensively, so a good stop there for Lakota West.
The ball's on the 25-yard line, another punting situation. Jacob Lucky, as we had mentioned before, double safeties on the look. And the ball taken out on the sideline, out of the 40-yard line, and a short return, and with 33 seconds left to go, another opportunity for Lakota West to score.
Another great field position, for Lakota West, and that's been a key. When you're able to start your offensive series in great field position consistently, and that has a lot to do with your special teams, and honestly, that has a lot to do with the weapons they have on special teams. Kickers, and special teams coordinators, they're going to kick away from those guys. So if you're able to do that, gosh, from an offensive coordinating standpoint, that's money right there. If you can get the ball consistently on the 35 or 40-yard line every single time you start, whoo! You're riding high water right there, man.
Better punt this time for Lucky, 35 yards. A little 1-yard return for Trent Lloyd officially, and with 33 seconds left to go, they fake the end around and the give. They're going into space. He's got a first down and more. Out to midfield.
And up with the number 25, Cameron Good.
Cameron Good, I mean, he's done it all year long. I mean, just absolutely just found the lane, found the hole, planted his foot, and just turned on the Jets.
Rob Mickler on the stop, though I feel like Gumbo dished out a little bit of himself onto Mickler on that stop.
A little bit, yeah.
And we'll see if we can get the final play here in before the clock. One more play. It's a run play up the middle for a couple of yards, and that's the way this first period will end. So Good on a couple of yards, and we are through 12 minutes here in this first quarter. 14-0 Lakota West. Back with more here on Chatterbox Plus. 14-0 here in Beckett Ridge, along with Uncle Kev, Archer's uncle, Kevin Zilch on Geoff Kim. Glad to have you along for week 12. Our videographer tonight is Jake Maish, and our producer, our favorite guy, Zach Teeters. One of our production twins, though, Kevin Miller, not in the house with us tonight. What's up? What's up with that?
Son's birthday party.
So he's got a son's birthday party. So happy birthday.
Second down and 7.
As we go to the south end, or at least Lakota West will attack the south end. And Milford showing blitz. The quick throw out to the right. And good effort defensively to make the stop. In on the stop is 5, Taj Price, the cornerback. And a loss on the play.
Well, Trent Lloyd, I don't even know if that football was really meant for Trent Lloyd. From our angle, we actually had a really good angle exactly where he was throwing the football. Trent just kind of stuck his arms out there. He was able to make the grab, and it was good for him because I don't know whether he was going to be able to make that grab or whether it's thrown anywhere else. But, again, a decent pickup there on kind of a broken play, if you will.
Trips to the bottom of your screen and a single to the top on 3rd down and long. 3rd and 6. Bolden with time. He throws complete out at the 31 or incomplete.
Yeah, that was trying to find Trent Lloyd again. Just honestly kind of gunsling that thing right into the ground, right at Trent's feet. I mean, he hits him in stride. He's definitely got a first down for sure.
I believe that's the first incompletion tonight from Mitch.
I believe you're right. You're 100% right, I think.
And they're going to stay on the field on 4th down, and why not? You press the advantage. You got a 2-score lead, and you want to keep the drive alive and press it. So 4th and 6, and we'll see if it's the freeze play. No, the give to Mitch, the pass out to the side, incomplete. So a big stop there, and it's a turnover on downs.
Well, one thing I'm noticing, and I think what Lakota West needs to start doing, is they start need to get in the ball to the hands of other people, or at least not look away from Trent Lloyd a little bit. He's obviously, we know what he's done in the past couple weeks. We know that he is the top target for Mitch Bolden, but we got to start distributing that football around a little bit. They start doing that, and that will free up Trent more as the game goes on.
The run play to Webster, and nothing doing on that far side.
Hand up with the number 8, Naquan Webster.
Aiden Miller, the first to get there.
Down by number 11.
And Asbeck cleaned him up. And we had talked to Jacob's dad prior to the ball game, Mike, and just had, I don't know, he was just, I'm trying to think of a good way to say it, but Mike was incredibly happy to see Jacob get as much playing time this year as he has.
Well, we've talked about him, throughout the year, and it's just been amazing to see him, got very little playing time against West Claremont in week 1, and then by the time Princeton came around, he's in the starting lineup and hasn't left since. So I love seeing that. You got a young kid, a sophomore, who's just stepped up big time on D.
Run play goes nowhere. And again, the stout defense that is Lakota West, and you think about what they do defensively. So on one side, on the rushing side, Milford gets about just under 5 yards a carry this year, 4.8, which is really good. But you think about what Lakota West does on defense, 21 sacks coming into this ball game, and they forced 5 fumbles and recovered 6. And the pass play, and Harden is dropped out at the 41-yard line.
Well, they snuffed that thing out from the get-go, Jeff. I mean, it was just a host of Firebirds all around. And now we're going to have looks like a conference of the...
And Miller gets credit with the drop. 4th down.
It's like they're going to talk about something here.
Again, tonight's referee is James George.
Holding on defense. Huh.
You don't often see that, especially in a play that's in the offensive backfield.
Yeah, you really don't. And what that might tell me is that it might have been a linebacker or a defensive back that may have held somebody going out for a route. That's typically where you're going to see a defensive holding call like that, not usually around where the sack's happening or at the line.
So they're having some discussion on where the ball should be placed at. So it's 3rd and 4. It feels like even if it's, no matter who it is, if it's a linebacker or a defensive back, it was behind the line of scrimmage. So Harden looking to throwing, home run, and it is picked off by Minnick out at the 25-yard line, up the middle, down the side, up the seam, out past the 50, and a great return, and the first turnover of the ball game goes to Lakota West.
Well, Ben Minnick got to play wide receiver there for a minute. We'll take a look at the replay right now, and literally there's nobody else around him. He just had to turn back, keep his eye on the football, and then turn on the Jets. Great interception for Lakota West. Now, they can kind of hopefully figure out what they need to do to get past this Milford defense. They kind of struggled the last game, so now they're going to, continue to move down the field here.
They'll place it on the opposing 49-yard line.
I'm going to say it was a roughing the passer call, I believe. So, yeah, nothing changed. They're going to bring back everything.
Wow.
Holy cannoli.
So wave off the interception. It's a Milford possession on the unsportsmanlike conduct. And right now, Milford's staying in this one right now. They're down 14. They've not shown signs of life on offense, but you can't give them hope.
Right, and that was one of my keys to the game. You can't let the team like Milford hang around, otherwise this is what's going to happen.
Harden throws incomplete, and he was under heavy, heavy duress.
I think that was Owen Kaufman in the middle there.
It was.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing. Milford, they've gotten lucky on this drive here with the penalties. And really, in my opinion, that's the only way, if Lakota West continues to make these type of mistakes in penalties, that's only going to keep Milford hanging around longer.
So 2nd down and 10 from the 36-yard line. The play clock hasn't started yet. A little discussion out on the field. And while we have a moment, if your AC or furnace is struggling, turn to the experts at Bartell's Heating and Cooling. Their certified technicians get the job done right the first time. And if you need a new unit, Bartell's will give you upfront pricing with no hidden fees. Plus, ask about Bartell's 0% interest financing for 60 months. Learn more at bartellsheatingandcooling.com. Bartell's Heating and Cooling for a comfortable way of life. Out of the little mini timeout, Harden throws, and oh, wow! What a stop! Reese Davis, hello to Alex Afari.
Wow, we're going to see it here on the replay. Oh, my goodness, Jeff. I mean, I might be a little speechless on this one.
Beg your pardon, Malik Hartford on the big whack.
Well, I'll tell you what, Malik just absolutely laid the hammer down on that play there. Wow, that's been one of the largest, biggest hits I think we've seen all year long.
What did we say a week ago about Malik? King League strikes.
Exactly.
And to Webster, it goes out in space and out to the sideline for good yardage. Out to the 29-yard line. So they get a lot of what they need to bring up 4th and short.
Yeah, I'm going to see what Coach Grippa dials up here now. I mean, I tell you what a weird drive, honestly. Like just a weird series here. Interception called back on the roughing the passer. Another weird penalty before that even. And then the big hit. It's been one thing after another in this drive.
Milford is 52% on 4th down this year. 4th and 4, down in distance. Harden throwing over the middle, complete. to Webster, who has a first down. Inside the 20-yard line and back into the Cincinnati Reds red zone we go.
Well, they were in bail coverage there. They were in a zone coverage, so you're going to leave that middle wide open. You should have a linebacker sitting right there, but nope, it was wide open for Milford.
And Harden out of the pocket is dropped in the backfield. A yard loss.
I'm going to say that Jacob Asbeck.
And you are correct. And Mike's son doing his business out there on the field to bring up second down.
Well, he's all over the place. You know, that's been one of his key attributes to this defense. He just flies around. So now they got to figure out a way to get a big stop here. I mean, that was a big first down from Milford in the red zone now. You know, if you're Milford, I might be looking for a little trickeration here, maybe? Maybe.
Reese Davis is in a slot to the right. Harden looking right, throwing right, and it is complete. Out inside the 10 to the 5, inside the 5, first and goal. A 17-yard pickup to Luke Ray.
Well, two things that Lakota West really's got to start doing is I think they got to start switching to a little bit of a man-to-man defense because they're picking apart this zone coverage that they're trailing back into. So they need to get up to the line and start jamming the receivers, and they got to get better pressure on the quarterback. They've got good pressure, but at times when he's able to keep complete passes, they're not getting to him.
And they go to the big lineup. Tofa Luwani, the fullback to the goal line. He is a little short.
Ooh. That push, though, at the end, I don't know.
The way the linesmen are coming in, they're holding him to bring up second and goal.
Number 2.
So Tofa Luwani, who we've not called tonight, plays linebacker, comes in these inside the 20 situations. He's a load at 245 pounds. Second and goal. Out of a power formation at the goal line, and Luwani again looking for his 19th score of the year. He is stopped off the right side. Could not get in behind Trevor Ings to bring up third down.
Well, we wanted to see some trickeration. I think right now putting him in the Wildcat basically is that. But I mean, hats off to this Lakota West defense. They're piling in there right now, and I think I see Tegra Shabola there.
You do.
On the defensive line, so the big offensive lineman from Ohio State's getting in there now.
You see him and Lathan McComas, third and goal. And again, Luwani's the focal point. There's not a lot of trickeration on what they're going to do. They want to power it in with Luwani. Tofa on a long count. He will run off the right side. Held up at the goal line. He is short. Fourth down coming up. What do you do here?
Well, right now and this is the problem with this offensive set. You know, when you have Tofu in there, you know he's not going to be throwing the football. But I mean, right now, gosh, I'd honestly like to see a play-action play at this point.
And we'll see who they put in the backfield. It's Tofa Luwani once again. He's that focal point in that big set as they go 8 big. Luwani off the left side. He will scamper in. Touchdown. On fourth and goal, Tofa Luwani gets his 19th of the year.
I'll tell you what, they wanted it. They kept trying. Great offensive set there, though. Great offensive of formation. You lined up heavy on the right side and then ran them to the left side where really the bodies weren't there. You know, the contain wasn't there on that left side. So great play design by Coach Grippa. And as they say, we got ourselves a ball game here, Jeff.
That took a lot of guts, and they got a little bit of help on that unsportsmanlike call, and we've got a stoppage in play with 4:48. Timeout charged to the visiting Milford Eagles, and they're waiting for the point after at 14-6. Along with Kevin Zilch, I'm Geoff Kim. Thanks for joining us here in Week 12 here on Chatterbox Plus. Our producer tonight, Zach Teeters, and our videographer is Jake Mish. So Tofa Luwani came on in, averaging 8 yards a carry. He just got his 19th touchdown of the year. He has been a force in the ECC this year.
All year long. I mean, that's just all year long he's been doing that same thing. I'm curious to see what Coach Gripper's going to dial up here. He just called a timeout when they should be kicking the extra point. Is he going to go for 2, I wonder?
Hard to imagine in this situation. By the way, coming up at the half, we'll be chatting with Lakota West Athletic Director Scott Kaufman. We'll talk a little bit about the state of the playoffs, especially as it relates to his team, and some other things going on with the school. It'll be Max Crawford to kick the extra point. Max out of the hold of Austin Harden, the quarterback, and the kick is away and through. 14-7 on a have mercy 1-yard plunge by Tofa Luwani, his 19th touchdown of the year, and he cuts the lead in half.
Well, this is an unusual situation for Lakota West right now. Something they haven't really been in a long, long time. I'm trying to think of the last game that they've been in this type of situation. I'm going back. I mean, I can't even really think about it, especially this early on in the game. These past couple of weeks, they've been just, like I said, been starting fast, but they cannot let this Milford team hang around much longer. We've seen what they can do. They've thrown the kitchen sink at Lakota West right now. All cards off the table. It is, I don't care whether it's trick plays, I don't care what it is. They are throwing it at them right now. So Lakota West has really got to hunker down, get back to what they do best, play good, sound defense, and then I think I would like to see, get Cameron Good the football and start chunking away at this clock a little bit. Gain some control on offense back from Milford.
14-play drive. It shoot up 57 yards. And it took up, as we're counting backwards, 6 minutes and 18 seconds off the clock. Luwani on 4th down from a yard out, behind his left tackle. Logan Bartholomew scores. The point after is good, and the new score here in Beckett Ridge is 14-7. We've got a ball game now.
Yeah, we do.
Well, about 12 minutes ago of game time, it didn't look like we were going to have a game, but right now we have a game. And here's the kick. Here's Brown from the 10. Angles back to the middle. Coming back out to the 25. Down the sideline. A flag on the play. Sidesteps a man at the 40 to the 45. Out to midfield. And we'll have to see what the flag is. I would imagine it's a hold up front. But if the play stands, it's 40 yards on the return.
Yeah, that's exactly what Lakota West needed, was a big play like that. But again, one thing that they've been doing tonight is, some of these penalties that are just very uncharacteristic of Lakota West. And has really forced them into some tough situations. We talked about the great starting field position they've had, and now, this is going to be the first time where they're going to have to put a drive together now and go down the length of the field.
Still a little bit of conference. We saw a fair amount of dirty laundry come out. And tonight's referee, James George, says hold. 4:36 left to go in a fast-moving first half here in Beckett Ridge, 14-7. And they push the ball all the way back to the 23-yard line.
Takes over 1st and 10 from their own 23-yard line.
They fake the give to Lloyd, and now it's Bolden who has a first down. Up the seam for great yardage. A first down carry on first down, a pickup of 13.
That's what they need to keep doing. They need to keep the ball on the ground, grind out this clock, and just gain more control of this game. You know what I mean?
Mickler on the stop, and they'll give. It's to Lloyd in space, and now he cuts back, moving up front, and we've got a flag on the play. It came in the offensive backfield. You think this is coming back?
Yeah, I mean, they're already walking it back, it looks like. So, I mean, I'm going to guess it's a hold off the edge there on the right-hand side where Lloyd was running the football. But, man, I tell you what, that's just kind of been the name of the game right now for Lakota West is these penalties, defense and offense now.
Well, if there's a bit of an Achilles heel to Lakota West on offense, is that they are a little inefficient at times. And when I mean inefficient, it's a holding call, it's a penalty, it's a false start. And that's what kills drives. Yeah. And you're in the playoffs, you really need to execute a little bit better because it only gets tougher from here.
It does. You're absolutely right on that one, Jeff.
First, and we'll call it 20, out at the 26-yard line. Bolden looking left, now looking, the home run for a Just a little too long. Another step, and that would have been 6. Defended out there by Taj Price.
Another long pass there. That was really kind of the first, I'm not going to say bad pass by Mitch Bolden, but, again, Alex Afari, to be honest, I think he usually makes those type of plays. Honestly, if you can get 2 hands on the football, at least that's what I've seen him do all year long. So some miscues here for Lakota West so far on offense.
We see Dwayne Richardson enter the ball game. He'll be in a slot to the left. With 3:54 left to go, we've got a timeout charge to Lakota West. 14-7 is your score, with the 3 seed leading the 6 seed. And Eli Sports Bar and Grill proudly sponsors high school football with 3 locations in Mason, Liberty Township, and in Ross. Our 10-foot screens guarantee a great view from every seat in the house. Eli Sports Bar and Grill, the best place in Cincinnati for sports, food, and fun. 2nd and 20. Go ahead, partner.
I was just watching Coach Grippa on the sideline during this timeout, and you can just tell he is visibly not happy with his football team right now. He was literally going up and down, chewing somebody out. It looks like he was on the headset chewing a coach out. Right now, this is just very uncharacteristic of what they've done. He knows that they're not playing disciplined football. Put the score aside. The fact of the matter is that they're just not disciplined in executing the way they need to execute right now for, a top team in the state and for being in the second round of the playoffs right now.
Let's see what they serve up out of the timeout on 2nd and 20. So we see Brown come out of the lineup.
2nd down and 1.
We'll see if it's a run play here as they go tight. Bolden with time to throw. Over the middle, complete, out at the 42-yard line. So it looked like a good stick by Mickler and a great job by Lloyd to hang on.
Whew, I'll tell you what, that might have been one of the toughest catches we've seen Trent Lloyd have in the past 2 weeks. He had to hold on to that ball because he got absolutely licked. But again, great job, way to pick up the big yardage there. It's not a first down, though, because of those penalties, so bring up 3rd and about 5.
Clock moves at 3:25 and counting.
3rd down and 5.
But it's 3rd and manageable. And a little bigger front here. As Milford throwing the kitchen sink at Bolden, now running out of time. Was on the move, has a 1st down and more. Across midfield, another flag comes in after the play. So he's out of bounds at the 41-yard line if it holds.
Well, looks like there's another holding call, and that's exactly what it's going to be. My goodness, this is just so uncharacteristic. You and I have seen him so many times.
Well, we saw, if you recall back to the West Claremont game, the first one back in week 2, where in the second quarter, as they attacked the south end, as they are attacking tonight so far here in the second quarter, they short-circuited it in that quarter. They were really inefficient, and it took them a halftime to understand what they needed to do.
And, I kind of attribute that to week 2. You're still trying to figure everything out. We've seen them now the past couple of weeks, and this just hasn't been this way. I go back, honestly, to the Hamilton game. They kind of did the same thing a little bit, where they sputtered out 2 times to go into the red zone.
So a downfield hold. They're at their 29-yard line. It looks like they need the 46 for the line to gain. Bolden to throw on 3rd down. He'll step up and is dropped out of the 27-yard line. Dropped by Tofa Luani, who scored the touchdown to give them some momentum. And it's a punting situation here for Lakota West.
I'll tell you what, this is getting more and more interesting, honestly, play by play a little bit. I can just Coach Bolden is not a happy camper right now. He is in the official's ear. I saw him in Cameron Good's ear. He is just not a happy guy right now, and rightfully so. Their offense, we've seen do this a little bit, but this is a little bit more exacerbated right now, and against a team probably that they shouldn't be doing this against.
The deep return man is Luke Ray. Actually, he'll be taken by the short man, and that's the cornerback, Jackson Stickle. 2:14 left to go here in this first half. And we've got a hell of a ball game between 3 and 6 tonight.
There's another flag, and I think they're going to call this on Lakota West. I think somebody said something to the referee.
Oh, boy. the way things have gone in the most recent minutes, you'd have a hard time understanding which team actually has the lead right now.
Absolutely. That's a great point, Jeff, because, I mean, while the scoreboard says one thing, we're seeing a completely different story unfold here on the field. Yeah, Lakota West has really got to rattle this in. If I'm Coach Bolden, I'm like, God, I need these 2 minutes to get off the clock and get in the halftime right now.
Call against Lakota West.
And I didn't see anything there. All I know is that Lakota West was around the referee, and he immediately threw that flag up.
Well, that's going to be a discussion at halftime.
I think so.
And they'll place the ball at the Lakota West 45, with 2:14 left to go.
Lakota West 45-yard line.
And again, Tom Grippa throwing the kitchen sink at Lakota West, the underdog here tonight, as Harden's back to throw. And he's got it complete out to the 40-yard line, and another big stick as they found the scat back, Sawyer Cup.
Pass was complete for quarterback.
Alex Afari just absolutely laying the wood here tonight. I mean, my goodness gracious. We knew he could hit, but he's putting on a show right now.
Number 23, Aiden
They'll reset. Cops in the backfield with the quarterback, Harden. The lone receiver to the top is Landon Wisby. With 1:42 left to go here in this first half. Harden throws the home run, complete out at the 20-yard line. Hartford made the stop, but it's first down coming up. On a big-time reception down there by J.P. Naylor.
Well, I'll tell you what, just fantastic drive right now by Milford. Looks like they're going to try a little hurry up here, which is exactly what they need to be doing.
Well, right now, Lakota West is distracted with 1:20 left to go in this first half. The throw out to the far side, the home run, it is picked off! And boy, do they need that one.
Take a look at the replay right here. He's just going to loft this ball. It's going to be underthrown just a little bit for the receiver, and just great position there for the Firebirds to make the interception. Whoa, my goodness, is that what they needed? Holy cow.
Josh Fossil came up huge.
Oh my goodness. I mean, you want to talk about a sigh of relief for the Lakota West bench? Woo! It's exactly what the doctor ordered for the Firebirds. And I mean, really, the coaching point on that pass, though, is, if you're going to throw that up, there's only one person who's going to catch the ball, and that's us or nobody. And, it's either got to be thrown out of bounds or right in the hands of the receiver. He just underthrew the football, and right there was Fossil there just to make the grab.
So 1st and 10 at the 20 with 1:15 to go. Do you go 2-minute offense or do you go conservative?
Oh, wow. That's a great question. This type of game, this part of me just says take it conservative, but no, it looks like they're going down the field.
And they find Jair Brown out at the 33-yard line, a pickup 13, and they're going to go right to the line.
We got a flag on the far side, though, right at the 30-yard line. See what this is now.
By the way, coming up at the half, we'll chat with Lakota West Athletic Director Scott Kaufman. And it's a sideline infraction.
Gotcha.
It's on the defense.
sideline warning against Milford.
So it's a warning. And move the chains, 1st and 10. On Brown's second catch of the night.
I've got a few of those flags in my back pocket from my coaching days. That's what you need to get back, coach.
68 ticks left to go here in this half. Bolden with time again. The throw, the home run, too long for Brown. Brown had a step going towards the post, but the ball came up down the seam, and it was defended well by Jackson Stickle.
Yeah, they just were not on the same page there. It looks like either Jair Brown ran the wrong route or cut his route short, and Bolden didn't see it or something there. That was just a miscommunication by the Firebirds offense.
2nd and 10 with 57 ticks left to go here in this first half. Imagine Bolden will throw again here on 2nd down. Deep drop, and now he sets up the screen, and it's in and out of the hands of Cam Good. And Milford came up front to deflection. Riesenberg was in that area, and I think it was he was there, and Nick Clank was as well.
Again, that's just something that we've seen them run those screen plays a lot, and they love to run them into the boundary like this with Cam Good. It gives them nice, clean lanes. So another opportunity right there for Lakota West missed.
Goods in the backfield with Mitch Bolden. Bolden steps up, throws, and it is complete to Jair Brown.
They're saying incomplete.
Whoa, down the sideline. He stepped out at the 46-yard line, and we will see the kicking team, the punt team, come out. So as smooth as Bolden looked throwing the ball in quarter number 1, that's how hard things have been for him in quarter number 2.
Yeah, you want to talk about a tale of really kind of 2 quarters. It has, Milford has just caused all sorts of problems for Lakota West, and hats off to Coach Grippa. He told us he was going to do this, in the pregame, that he was throwing the kitchen sink at him, and right now it has Lakota West just really kind of up in arms right now.
Luke Ray is one of the deep men, 15 yards per return. The punt away from Minnick. And fair catch call for it, and boy, this is a big punt.
That's what they needed. They needed that right there.
57 yards on the punt, nothing on the return.
Pin Milford back deep and make it go the whole stretch, because I doubt they can do that in 30 seconds. Even if I'm Coach Grippo right now, I don't want to force anything. I don't want to force an interception. I don't, because that's probably going for a pick 6. So there's part of me that says, man, I just might run a few plays and get out of here.
Well, and that might be the way to go, considering that they get the ball to start things in the second half.
Milford takes over 1st and 10 from their own 11-yard line.
And we do see a tight formation. And Harden will take a knee.
Yep.
Coming up shortly, we'll chat with Lakota West Athletic Director Scott Kaufman as we just wait to see, as the clock moves at 17 and counting, they don't have to run another play, but they are just standing around probably talking about, hey, what are you going to do for dinner tonight?
Right, exactly. Talking about the UC game tomorrow, maybe the Bengals-Browns game, yeah.
And both sides will move on out and go to the locker room and at the half. The first quarter dominated by Lakota West. The second quarter dominated by Milford. And your score here at intermission is 14-7. Coming up here in the intermission, we'll chat with Athletic Director for Lakota West, Scott Kaufman. This is Week 12 action here on Chatterbox Plus. Taj Price and Jackson Stickle are the deep backs. At the 5-yard line to return, they'll attack the north end, Milford will, to start things off here in half number 2. It's Price from the 5, mishandles it, has to pick it up, comes up the middle, 10-15, has some space, got away, and a good return as he turned nothing into something, and Milford gets the first attack to try to tie things up here in quarter number 3.
We'll have to see with this. I'm sure at halftime, Coach Hall's the defensive coordinator for Lakota West, really took a hard look at the iPad and really tried to figure out what they're doing, because they're throwing a lot at this defense. So I'm predicting if you kind of get back to your base defense, settle everybody down. Hey guys, we got to play heel depth at the line, nothing by us. So we'll have to see it right here.
Triples to the bottom of your screen. First down as Natwan Webster is in the backfield with young Mr. Harden. Austin gives, and it's the running back, Webster, off the left side for a couple of yards.
Number 8, Natwan Webster.
That's one thing right there. That's one thing they really got to do also, is start gang tackling, getting to the football. Get everybody around to the football. Flow, play heel depth, and get to the football for your Lakota West. Is the name of game right now in the second half defensively.
Gain of a yard. Second, and we'll call it 9. Say it just Afari, and now they throw over the middle, incomplete. Intended for number 1, Landon Wisby, to bring up third down, and this would be a great bit for Tom Bolden and his crew to get a 3 and out.
Yeah, they need this right now just for momentum purposes, just to, get the ball back, get on offense. Right now, this is a big third down play here for the Firebirds.
Again, as we had mentioned on third down this year, 37% are the Milford Eagles. And defending on third down coming into this ball game, 25% for Lakota West on third down, 3rd and 9. Jair Brown has the assignment on the bottom of your screen. The look to the right. Now the throw over the middle, and it is complete out at the 32-yard line. I believe they needed the 34, so that'll bring up 4th and short. 4th and we'll call it 2.
You know Coach Grippa's going for it. He's leaving his offense right on the field, and why not, right?
So Luke Ray on the reception, and we'll see if this is the freeze play. Lakota West showing blitz. Jacob Asbeck on the top side. And we're seeing Alex Afari as a defensive back as opposed to an adjuster at the line. On 4th and 2, Harden throws, and it's complete to his favorite target, Reese Davis.
You know, one thing I'm noticing that the defensive backfield is doing for Lakota West is they're playing really off these receivers. You know, they're not at the line of scrimmage. They're playing off, and you're giving those little dump passes away. So maybe one of the adjustments they need to make is just get up to the line of scrimmage and start jamming those receivers at the line.
They needed 2. They got 6. Harden looking, now in trouble. Flush from the pocket, looking to the sideline, and will pick up a few yards. Chased out by Elijah Davis. So the quarterback, Harden, getting what he could. He came into this ball game getting 63 yards rushing all year long. He's not typically a running threat.
Typically not right there. And Lakota West just lost contain. Good job to rally back to the football and get there to make the stop.
So a pickup of 5 for the quarterback, Austin Harden. Webster in the backfield with trips to the top of your screen. 9 on the play clock, and Harden will roll right. And boy, he got smacked down. Brandcamp in on the stop.
Well, there it is. So it brings up another 3rd down for Lakota West. They got to get a stop right here. You know, they can't let Milford continue to methodically drive it, and Milford's going to be in that hurry up right now. Caught West completely off guard.
And they'll readjust. Again, trips to the top of your screen. Harden to throw on 3rd down, and it is incomplete. Intended for Reese Davis and broken up by Hartford.
Great play by Malik Hartford there. I mean, just a fantastic play coming down, really kind of playing that safety position. Came down, was able to get his hand in front without committing, you know, a pass interference call. So, I mean, that's exactly what they needed. Now it looks like Coach Grippa is going to punt the ball, but hey, I'd be looking out for the fake punt right now. I mean, who knows? You know, anything's possible with Coach Grippa.
Jacob Lucky had a couple of punts in the first half, and double return men, Jair Brown and Trent Lloyd from the 43. And it's Lloyd from the 25. Angles right, a flag on the field already. Up the middle, down the seam. He angles left, he could be gone. Goodbye! 75 yards on a half mercy.
And I'm looking back. I know we said there might have been a flag. I think that might be one of the markers, though.
If it's just a marker, it's 20-7 on a half mercy 75-yard return.
And I'll tell you what, that's exactly what Lakota West needed. They needed a big play like that. They need to get back on track with the score. They're in sync now. That's huge for Lakota West.
That is their 7th return for a touchdown, either on defense or on special teams. Mercy. And Hannah Duncan out to kick the point after. Good snap, the kick is away and through. 21-7 here in Beckett Ridge, and boy has the tide turned.
Oh, man, I'll tell you what, I'm even bringing a sigh of relief. I know that they are. I know Coach Bolden is right now. That was desperately needed. This is a tough football game right now, and it's take plays like that from players like Lloyd that can really bust it out. One of my keys to the game was get the ball in their playmakers' hands, and that's exactly what they did right there. Forced the punt, got the ball into Trent Lloyd's hand, and he was off to the races.
Tom Bolden has called Trent Lloyd his team's Christian McCaffrey. He may be the GMC's Christian McCaffrey.
You might be right, because I tell you what, there's no stopping him. He's just go, 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 go all the time, and I think that's what makes him such a special football player out there. He kind of missed, probably the first 4 or 5 games in the season after being injured literally on the first play of the season against St. Xavier. So to see him come back out, get healthy, and then produce like he has, man, that's a special kid right there.
Again, Taj Price and Jackson Stickle at their own 7-yard line. Tyler Bond to kick it away from his own 40. And a spiraling kick. It takes Price back to the goal line. He comes out up the middle, and he's got space out across the 25, and he was a step away.
I can't quite see who made the tackle for West, but that was a great, perfect example of doing your job and staying at home on special teams. They're going to break through that first line at times. That's going to happen, but it's your second-level defenders on your kickoff return team or kickoff team that has to be there to make the stop. He stayed at home and was right there. Great job by Lakota West.
A second straight special teams tackle for Ben Minnick.
Been all over the field tonight.
1st and 10 from the 30, and it's a 2-score game now all of a sudden here in Beckett Ridge. So a big drive coming up here for the Milford Eagles. It's Harden at quarterback. And they got stacks to each side. And the running back takes it for a few yards. And I believe that's Sawyer Cup. It is. So Sawyer Cup is 5'9", listed at 160 and just a sophomore. The little change of pace back between the big... you're familiar with the 3 bears, right?
Yes.
You have the papa, the mama, and the little baby bear. He's kind of the little baby bear of that group.
Exactly. That's a great way to put it. You're absolutely right.
Harden to throw, looking right, throwing right, and it is complete out of the 35-yard line. So Landon Wisby on the catch.
Well, a great job. They wanted a pass interference on that call, but it was a great job. He got in there and actually made the play.
So no catch as Wisby came up short. We didn't see the short up from our vantage point, and another critical 3rd down with 8:30 on the clock.
So this is a big situation right here. Get the stop right here. Get the ball back in your hands. And now look, they're shifting into an offensive formation. They're going to run this play.
3rd and 6. And West showing blitz. The throw, and it's picked, nearly picked off. And that had 6 written all over that, too. So Josh Fussell, who got the interception in the end zone in the first half, looked like he had number 2 in his breadbasket.
Well, the receiver just slipped and fell down, and you're right, he had it right there. He actually kind of tripped over the receiver a little bit. Otherwise, that would have been 6 right there. But, another great job by this Lakota West defense. They found their rhythm. They settled things down. They figured out this Milford offense, at least in these first 2 drives of the second half.
So pick your poison. As we see the punt team come on, we did just see Trent Lloyd get his first punt return for a touchdown this year. And on the other side, the top side, J.R. Brown, who's got 2. And this one nearly blocked and picked up front out at the 47-yard line. So it's Lloyd there, and the stop belongs to Danny McCoy, one of the linebackers, and great field position here again for Lakota West.
So they did get a piece of that. The referee signaled that it was tipped, so that means that it's a live ball there from wherever it lands. So another great special teams play by Lakota West. And I'll tell you what, they just seem to have kind of figured things out. I'm sure Coach Bolden had some awards for them at halftime. That's probably putting it extremely, extremely lightly. But they've come out and they've responded here so far in the second half.
Usually you call those discussions a paradigm shifter.
Yes, but I've had a few of those in my career.
It's Bolden on 1st down. And the give, flag on the play, good into the secondary, big yards, a pickup of 15. And look at Tegra Shabola down the field, and another flag too as he knocked down a defensive back and Jackson Stickles. So 2 flags on the play, and they both appear to be against Lakota West.
And, I feel for Tegra Shabola because I know he was trying to do. I know an offensive lineman's mind. I've been one. I've coached him for a long time. He was just playing his heart out. I don't think he even realized maybe where the football was or where he was. He was just going, as hard as he could right there. And unfortunately, he just, extended it a little too long.
So quite a discussion being led by James George, tonight's referee. So a sideline warning against the home team, and then the personal foul on Shabola at the end.
Against Lakota West.
That's the second sideline warning that we've seen here tonight. I mean,
well, you had one on the visiting
yeah.
Milford Eagles back in the first.
Yeah, that's where you need that JV coach. Hey, you're the get back guy, man. Get him back. Get him back. The sidelines are painted perfectly for it.
So they're going to spot the ball at the 49-yard line. So when it's all said and done, it's officially a gain of 1. And good off the right side this time behind Latham McComas, and nothing doing this time as he's lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage, and a big stop by that defensive lineman that we talked about so much, Nick Klink.
Well, he's been all over the place. I mean, Nick has, 56 tackles, I believe, on the year. So, he's just the anchor of that defense for Milford. You saw it right there. He knows how to bring down good running backs like Cameron Good.
Second down. And this one coming left, and good yards on the end around behind Shabola's side. And Good picks up a few more yards. So he was held in check back in the first half. Cam Good had 4 carries for 19 yards in the first half. When you counter that from what he had last week, where he had 4 carries for, I believe, 91 yards, a little stark difference. And the give to Good up the middle. He explodes. Goodbye! 40 yards on the gallop. Mercy.
We'll go look at the replay right here, and this is exactly what Cameron Good's been waiting to do. Just look at the power, and look at the burst of speed as he breaks through the line right down to the end zone. That's something we haven't quite seen out of Cameron Good the last 2 or 3 games, but it's awesome to see him be able to break through there with that speed and get down the line just like we've seen him do all year long.
40-yard scamper for Cameron Good. That's his 12th touchdown rushing this year. 27-7 as we wait the point after. Mercy. Point after for Tyler Bond is good. 28-7. And this game has officially changed.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. I don't know what words were said at halftime, but obviously it made a big point for Lakota West. And, Cameron Good right there. One thing I noticed in the first half, and this was an observation on the sidelines, he and Coach Bolden were in some intense discussions on the sideline. He and Cam Good. In fact, he pulled Cam Good out of the game at one point in time. So I'm just wondering, sometimes you just kind of got to get those players jump started a little bit and maybe pulling them out, saying, hey, settle down, we'll get you after halftime. I think that really, really changed the game for Cam Good now, and it's awesome to see him come back out and respond to what Coach Bolden was coaching him up on.
4-play drive, 50 yards. It took a minute and 21 seconds off the clock. Capped off by the Cam Good 40-yard touchdown run, his 12th rushing touchdown of the year. Bond with a point after, and the brand new score here in Beckett Ridge is 28-7. So this is do or die time. We had mentioned how important these third down situations for Milford had been progressively as this quarter has gone along. They need something right now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. This is kind of the like you said, the do or die drive for him right now. Because if you don't get anything here, Lakota West right now is turning on all cylinders in this second half. So yeah, it's this big, interesting kickoff here.
And a high pinwheeling kick. Well, after the big return, Stickle jumps on it. It's loose! Out at the 25-yard line. Still looking to unpile. Lakota West initially said they had it. Still no signal, and it'll stay up front. Wow, so Jackson Stickle and the Milford Eagles avoid calamity here on this short kickoff.
Well, I think Coach Bolden said, all right, Coach Gripper, you got some tricks up your sleeves? I got a few up mine too here. Watch this. And that was just an angled kickoff right to the, to the up back there. I was kind of going, oh, my goodness, what are they doing here? But, a great job, and that kind of keeps everybody on their heels there. And I love that call by Coach Bolden. You got the momentum, kind of take it to him at this point right now.
Well, at some point you want to throw the dagger.
Right, yeah. And that can be one of those things where you throw the dagger, and that can be a huge momentum boost for your team, right?
25-yard line.
6:53 on the third quarter clock, 28-7 on a couple of big scoring plays by Lakota West. Harden's back to throw with time. He's got the home run, and it is incomplete. It was J.P. Naylor out on the far sideline, and the ball a little too strong out to the sideline, second down.
Well, it was too strong, but the more concerning thing, if I'm Coach Halls, for the defense is he was wide open. He didn't have anybody within about 2 or 3, maybe 4 yards of him. So, again, out of position there for the Lakota West defense. They'll get back into the film room tomorrow and really do a deep dive on that to see where they need to shore things up.
Ben Minnick defending on that last play, 2nd and 10. The winner of this one will take on, as we wait here, out to the sideline and deflected and out of bounds, nearly picked off to bring up third down. Jair Brown out to the sideline along with Ben Minnick.
Pass was intended for number 4.
So the winner of this 3-6 game will take on the winner of the 2-7 game, and that is Elder, and the 2 seed is the Bombers of St. X.
And right now it's 35-7 St. X. Ooh. So, in the third quarter. So they're just laying it on the Panthers right now.
Wonder what Brogan Mackay is doing tonight. 3rd and 10. As they empty out the backfield for Harden. And right now Lakota West smelling blood. The long count, and now we have a stop. Timeout charged to visiting Milford. And if your AC or furnace is struggling, turn to the experts at Bartell's Heating and Cooling. Their certified technicians get the job done right the first time. And if you need a new unit, Bartell's will give you upfront pricing with no hidden fees. Plus, ask about Bartell's 0% interest financing for 60 months. Learn more at bartellsheatingandcooling.com. Bartell's Heating and Cooling for a comfortable way of life. For Uncle Kev, Kevin Zilch, I'm Geoff Kim. Thanks for joining us here on Chatterbox Plus, Week 12. Here, as we progress through this third period, and it has been a long punt return for Trent Lloyd and a long touchdown run for Cam Good, and they've opened up the big lead here in the third.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is just huge. And, Jeff, I don't know where the temperature was when we started, but my goodness gracious, it has dropped.
It was 49 degrees officially at game time, and as we're now at 8:38, and thank goodness for things like weather apps as we're taking a look here. And you say about the weather dropping, it's just because we do have an open window so we can capture the ambiance of the game. 42 degrees right now as we put away our meteorologist cap. And this one, a loss of the play and a flag at the end of it as well. And so we've got a turnover. It belongs to Lakota West, and we'll see what the flag is.
I think that's another marker down. Yeah. Wow, big turnover there. Quick turnover for Lakota West. No penalty. They'll get the ball back in just absolutely fantastic field position. In fact, they'll be in the red zone.
They'll spot the ball at the 20-yard line, and this feels like a dagger shot here, partner.
Yeah, absolutely.
Didn't get a chance to see who recovered the ball, but it belongs to Lakota West. And Bolden to throw with time. He rolls from the pocket. He throws out to the far side. Complete touchdown! Trent Lloyd for his second of the night, receiving his third overall. Mercy.
Well, take a look at the replay. He's wide open. You're going to see Trent Lloyd in the corner of the end zone waving, give me the ball, and he finds him right there in the end zone. Great pass, great catch. Again, the dynamic duo of Mitch Bolden and Trent Lloyd strikes again for Lakota West. And I'll tell you what, I mean, right now, this whole momentum has shifted, and this whole game has taken a big turn for Lakota West.
So the defense came alive. They set the tone as we await the point after from Hannah Duncan. Attacking the south end zone. The kick away is good as it just crawled past the upright on the left side, and it's 35-7 on a have mercy. One play does it all. A 20-yard touchdown pass from Trent Lloyd, who gets his 5th in the last 3 weeks.
I mean, just been all over the field. I mean, Trent's just one of those players you can tell he's a hard player. He had the big kickoff, the big punt return earlier in the half, and really right now they're just cooking on all cylinders. This game reminds me of a game we played here in our second round playoff game against Northwest in 2013. It was one of these games, I think the halftime score was 14-7 or maybe 7-0 Loveland, and it was just one of those games where it was just weird. It was just we couldn't get in rhythm. Even we ended up winning 42-21, but it was just one of those games where you walked out and you go, oh, we survived, even though those scores might show it a little different. But yeah, this is just kind of one of those playoff games where one team's throwing the kitchen sink at them, but Lakota West has been able to come out of the half just turning and burning on all cylinders, and they smelled blood in the water and they attacked real quick.
Again, the deep men are Taj Price to the left, and to the right it's Jackson Stickle. And another high-floating kick, pinwheeling out to the near side, and it's loose! Out to the sideline! The up man got whacked, and now we've got a flag at the end of the play.
Well, they haven't made a signal yet. I'm going to take a wild guess the flag is going to be another sideline warning, which at this time, I believe the second one would be an actual forced penalty.
Right.
So they haven't made a signal yet, though.
So still some conferring. Again, James George is tonight's referee. So the play went out to the sideline. We saw a hard hit right around the 35-yard line. The ball moved out to the sideline, and we had the scrum, of course, on the sideline moving into trying to see what was going on. We didn't get to see it from our vantage point. And, it's either a late hit or it's the sideline infraction, as you had mentioned, partner.
We're still waiting to see. Get it right now.
So it's a hold on the receiving team. Did not see that one coming, especially given the location of where the flag came out.
Yeah.
I'm a little confused.
A little bit on that one. I couldn't tell, did he make the hold sign or did he go personal foul?
Well, it might be the personal foul.
Because the personal foul would make a little bit more sense in that location.
Right.
Now, we'll see on the walk back here.
They bring it on back to the 15-yard line. So that's in the area of that personal foul.
Yeah.
So first and 10 coming up.
I'll tell you what, this Lakota West silent, has just gotten really excited here in the second half. They're jumping around. I really haven't seen that out of them, a lot this year. So they've finally got some juice flowing on the sidelines for West.
By the way, speaking of juice, you got to think that what they're fueled by lately is their favorite drink of choice, raspberry lemonade. We found that out over at the Firebirds show last Monday. And Hardin, and a flag on the play as this one goes to the scat back coming around, and Landon Wisby had nowhere to go.
Let's take a while, guys. It's going to be a legal motion or, legal shift.
.6:12 frozen on the clock, 35-7. I don't know if this reminds you of last week's game where it was a big scoring effort in the second quarter by the home team. This week it's the third quarter by Lakota West.
Yeah, and that you're right. It kind of mimics that. Just the quarters are off a little bit. Obviously, I think everybody was expecting that big scoring maybe to happen in the first half, but Lakota West had to figure Milford out.
So it's a motion call against visiting Milford, 2nd and 15. Quarterback to throw over the middle, and it's nearly picked off.
Well, we called this a kind of a do-or-die drive for Milford right now. And, unfortunately, with the penalty and where they got the football on the kickoff, everything just kind of running against them right now. If you're Milford, you're in a 3rd and 15 position right now. You're going to have to get a big play right here. There's no doubt about it. It's got to be a big, big play for Milford.
We're watching I don't know what you call this. It's a scrum. It's a jumping scrum by the near sideline. If nothing else, Lakota West's football team right now out on the sideline is a lot of fun to watch. 3rd and 15. Harden on the run to the right, running for his life, and he is dropped. I don't know if he gained a yard on that play. 4th down.
Yeah, he ran east-west a lot there, and unfortunately couldn't find the north-south channel there. So, yeah, that unfortunately this is going to force him into position. They got to be careful with this punting right now. They already had one tip. They've given up a punt return for a touchdown to Trent Lloyd. So this is a very dangerous situation for Milford to be in this on the field right now.
Partner, do you believe in yourself being a good luck charm?
Oh, I'd like to think that sometimes, yes.
So I have a reasoning for this, as the ball's placed officially at the 12-yard line. So you and I have seen all 4 kick returns by Lakota West this year that went for scores. Here's the kick, and it's blocked! It's picked up at the 12-yard line, and that is where they'll come to rest.
We'll take a look at the replay right here of it. And, you're going to see it, the pressure come off the left side, and boom, right there. Great block by Lakota West, and again, I warned it. That's exactly what I was fearful of for Milford. In that type of situation, that's a really, really tough spot to punt the football for any team, but with the struggles they've had here tonight on their punting team, man, that's exactly what the doctor did not order.
They'll spot the ball at the 14-yard line. And this could be the exclamation point. The give to Good, cuts back, rolls right, has some space, looking for the sideline, diving on down inside the 5 to the goal line. He's gone, he's getting touchdown. Mercy, what a run.
That might be one of the most impressive runs I've seen all year long. Goodness. I thought he was down 3-4 times there. I thought he was going to be tackled, but that's what Cam Good does. He's able to keep those feet turning and turning and turning, and that's what happens for all you young running backs and running back coaches out there. Look at Cam Good and the way he runs the football with so intensity that his feet never stop moving, and right there, that's what happens.
Tyler Bond on the kick, out of the hold of Aaron Peters. The high winding kick is good. 42-7, Mercy on a one-play, does-it-all scenario. It takes officially 12 seconds off the clock, and it was all Cameron Good, 14 yards out. The point after is Good. Good, second of the night, his 13th rushing touchdown of the year.
And now Cam Good really couldn't find his rhythm in that first half. He has found it here in the second half big time. I think that's attributed to the way that whatever was said at halftime really sunk in with this team. And I'm sure it went something along the lines of, hey, look, guys, you were the number 3 team in the state and you're not playing like it right now. You have got to come out here and play with some prowess and come out and dominate the second half. And that's exactly what Lakota West has done here tonight. Now, I'm sure that it was a little bit louder than that. But again, that's the general premise. I'm sure that what was said at halftime, and it's shown right here. And that's what made Coach Bolden one of the top coaches in the state. That he's able to do that.
Partner, did you expect a running clock?
We had talked about this a little bit. I said maybe into the fourth quarter, depending on what happened. Honestly, if you would have told me at halftime, I would have said absolutely no way. But right now, obviously, we're in that position. So I was not, no.
It's weird as we await the kickoff, and it's a little high squibber to the near side, nearly caught by Afari, and it's recovered, and now we've got a flag at the end of it. So Afari nearly caught it on the dead fly. It was picked up by Bryce Burleson, a backup linebacker, and we'll sort out the flag with 4:31 left to go. Partner, in talking about this a week ago, as we had mentioned, 35 points in the second quarter over West Claremont by these Firebirds tonight in the third quarter, 28 points.
And when you're able to pile those points on in a quarter like that, that's huge. Obviously they came out just all guns blazing right out of halftime, and it shows. It has shown right here, and I think this is what I love about this team, and I was anxious. Okay, what Lakota West are we going to see out of halftime? Are they going to continue to just kind of struggle, not find their way, seem uncomfortable? Or if they're truly the team that we think they are, they should come out here and dominate the second half, and so far that's what they've done. That's what I expect out of one of the top 5 teams in the state.
42-7 as Lakota West is right now on a collision course with the winner of the 2-7 game, and right now it looks like it's going to be St. X as their leading Elder.
Yeah, it's 42-7 now, so literally the same exact score we have is the St. X Elder score.
See Owen Kaufman as a left end here in this scenario. We've been used to seeing him up the middle, but now he's at the left end spot. And a little double flip option, and the running play goes to Luke Ray for good yards, first down on first down.
Yeah, you got to go to open up the playbook now if you're Coach Grippa. Just everything's on the table, and that's great time for run that play. Lakota West is excited. They caught him off guard there. So Lakota West, you got to settle down now and finish this game strong.
And team charge timeouts. The point differential should fall beneath 30. Normal clock operations will resume. Thank you.
Harden, the give. And it goes to the running back, Webster, into space, into the secondary, and another first down. Out inside the 20-yard line and back into the Cincinnati Reds red zone. For real-time news and exclusive content, follow the Reds on social. You can find them at Reds on Twitter.
Webster's got some moves. We've seen him tonight in and out of the holes. He's able to balance. He's got great awareness in the backfield. Again, I think this is a tribute to that offensive line they have up front. Has been really working hard here tonight.
Deep drop for Harden. He throws. It is complete out to Kopp. And he is close to yet another first down. So they have moved the chains here pretty well as the scat back Sawyer Kopp picks up good yardage. It'll bring up second and short.
Well, Milford's taking what Lakota West is giving them. Lakota West is giving them those underneath routes, and they kind of have all night long by bailing out into zone coverage. So again, I've said it kind of early on in the half that they might want to start pressing up a little bit and taking away those lanes for Milford.
Twins to the bottom of your screen. 2nd and 1. Harden to throw. He'll step up. He has the first down across the 10-yard line. First and goal coming up.
He was stopped by number 23, Aiden Miller.
Aiden Miller on the stop. 5th play of the drive coming up. And we're seeing some urgency from Milford. Obviously, you've got 13-plus minutes left to go in their season, and they don't want it to end with a whimper.
No, I mean, they're going down. They're going to go down swinging, that's for sure. Any Coach Grippa coach team is going to do that. But, right now, Lakota West got it really short. They had a couple goal line stands early on in the first half, so we'll have to see what happens here.
I believe that's the big boy Luani that's in there. No, it's not. Actually, they give to Kopp up the middle, close to the front. Ball came out at the end. It will stay up front. I believe it was recovered by 73.
Number 29, Sawyer Kopp was the ball carrier.
Owen DeHanes, who's a reserve offensive lineman. Under a minute left to go here in this third.
See if they can get a big stop here.
Well, you remember the last time that they were down at this end of the field, that it took them 4 plunges to get in. And the running play, touchdown, Kopp.
Touchdown, Milford. Number 29, Sawyer Kopp on the touchdown.
So Kopp gets his 4th touchdown of the year and breaks the drought, 42-13.
Again, this another good drive, really by Milford. Started off with that big play. Just started off and then just marched right down the field on Lakota West. I mean, literally right down the field.
Point after is good. Brand new score here in Beckett Ridge is 42-14 on a 5-play drive that goes 50 yards and chews up just under 4 minutes. 3 minutes and 54 seconds off the clock and the Cop TD run. And are you surprised not to see Luani in that situation?
You know, I think had it gone down to a closer goal line situation, I think we would have. And had he not scored so quickly there, I think we would have definitely seen that. You know, another good methodical drive for Milford. And the Lakota West defense seemed a little, I'm going to say on roller skates a little bit, kind of heading back there that entire drive. Was almost a little too easy for Milford at that time. So I'm sure they'll try and shore that up here to close out the game.
So 41 seconds left to go here in this third period, 42-14. Special teams have really played a big effort tonight for the home team. They got a punt return, 75 yards from Trent Lloyd, and a block kick. And the way that Malik Hartford, and I didn't see who actually blocked the kick, but the way Malik Hartford's been playing this year, that could have been his 4th of the year on block kicks.
I mean, if it was, that's impressive. That's absolutely impressive.
And it was Hartford.
Yeah.
So King Leak gets his 4th of the year.
That's impressive. That's a stat line you just don't see very often with that many blocks. Wow.
See if we get a long kick or some trickeration here. It's Crawford kicks, and it is a deep kick. And it pushes Jair Brown back to his own 10. Angles back to the middle of the field. Now looks to the sideline. He had a big return his last time, not as big this time, out to the 30-yard line. So he had a big return the last time he was able to return one. Unfortunately for him, that one came back due to flags.
And I'm just thinking back along that Milford drive that they had right there, really where it started was with that kickoff. You know what I mean? With them kicking it short, they got the ball right around the 35-yard line. So, I might do away with that kickoff if I'm Coach Bolden and try and kick him deep and pin him deep, or as deep as I possibly can from here on out, just so that doesn't happen right there.
29 seconds left to go here in this third, maybe the final play of this third. Bolden in, still at quarterback, and the give to Good. Exploding into the secondary for a first down. Whatever Bolden said to him at halftime has sure worked.
My goodness. He is just all over the place. And the way he's run, he's just, the power that he has right now is just unbelievable. And you're right. Whatever was said there absolutely hit home with Cameron Good.
He's got 2 touchdowns here in this third period. And we have come to this end of the third period. 12 more minutes left to go here in this regional quarterfinal. 42-14, West is on their way here on Chatterbox Plus.
On behalf of the OHSAA and everyone participating in this contest, please remember...
Lakota West is 12 more minutes away from a date with St. X. And we can't wait for that next one in the regional semifinals. Tonight in the regional quarterfinals, the 3 seed leading the 6 seed, 42-14, Firebirds over the Eagles with 12 more minutes left to go as Lakota West will attack the north end. Bolden will keep and now pitch right. And the running play to the right side, and the ball came out at the end.
Pitch with the number 4, Trent Lloyd.
So Lloyd on the running play got it ripped away from him, but it will stay up front.
And that's about the first mistake we've really seen Trent Lloyd make. And since he's really kind of came back, he just really kind of had that ball kind of flailing out there. He's really got to, hold that tight up against the chest, high and tight. So they can't do that, but obviously able to get the ball back and slight gain on the play.
Second and, well, officially call it 10. So he got good yards, but the ball had been ripped away from him and pushed backwards. So it's actually 2nd and 9. Good's in the backfield again, and Bolden back to pass. He wants the home run for Minnick. Goodbye! 57 yards on the hookup. Have mercy.
Wow. Here's the replay. Money Mitch does it again down the field to Minnick, the track star, into the end zone. Yeah, you can walk it from there, Ben. No big deal. Wow. There's your dagger, Geoff.
Third passing touchdown tonight for Mitch Bolden. The first to Mitch Bolden, to Ben Minnick, who gets his first of the night, his fourth of the year. (48-14). And Hannah Duncan a point after away from tying last week's effort as a team, and she does. Last week's final score was 49-14. Tonight, our score is 49-14.
And we still got some time left to go, so there still might be some fireworks on the for Lakota West. But I mean, I'll tell you what, wow. I mean, I'm very impressed with the way they've come out in the second half. That's what you expect out of a top team in the state. That, you know, they struggled early on. Milford was throwing the kitchen sink at them. I think they were throwing new defensive fronts, running different offensive plays, and Coach Grippa told us they were going to do that, and why not? But for them to come back, they struggled. They couldn't find their footing. They came out of halftime just guns blazing. Wow. I mean, to use your word, mercy.
Lakota West has outscored Milford in the second half 35-7. That's going to win you a lot of games.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
So next week, and I know that you're probably not one. I'm a little bit more. I'm going to use the word prescient in thinking about who's going to play who next week, as we look forward to this team that we're seeing tonight in Lakota West, the 3 seed, take on number 2 St. X.
I mean, it's the matchup everybody wanted, right? It's what we've been waiting on. It's what Lakota West has been waiting on really since last year. You know, they had a chance early on in week 1, but, you know, X got the best of them then. So, again, this is going to be a big one for Coach Bolden's ball club.
Stickle from the 5. Beg your pardon, that's Price, and he's got a big head full of steam out towards the 25-yard line as he went left to right. So 10:42 on the clock. 49-14. Remy on the stop. By the way, the name Remy, Brennan Remy, we got a chance to sit with him on Monday. And he had gotten a touchdown, in fact, in that St. X game in week 1 and got a couple catches last week against West Claremont. We'll see if we see him in this ball game. But we got a chance to talk with him and his teammates, and as the running play goes nowhere.
And up with the number 4, Luke Ray.
So Ray goes nowhere on the run play.
Jacob Asbeck.
And Asbeck makes a stop. But wanted to talk about Brennan for a second, because one of the things that you really need on winning teams is guys that keep everyone loose. Mm-hmm. And so what was great about Brennan when we had dinner with him on Monday over at the Firebirds show is he kept everybody loose. He was holding court at the table. You would think it would be one of the starters, but in that case, and it's this one nearly picked off and it's incomplete. Intended for Wisby on the near side, and that had pick 6 written all over it.
Yeah, it did, but you know, you got to have guys like that. You hit the nail on the head. You know, when you have a teammate on your team like that, they can keep everybody loose, especially in the toughest situations, like I'm sure they were at halftime. You know, that's what you need, because you got to have that yin and yang. You got to have Coach Bolden being that tough guy, going in there and having those tough conversations to his team. But you got to have those other guys that say, hey, guys, all right, look, let's lighten up. Let's play loose. Let's play like we are. You know what I mean? Obviously, I'm sure he said it much more funnier than I just did right there. But that's what you got to have. You got to have that equal balance, and that's what great teams have.
It's Harden looking to throw over the middle and nearly picked off. Intended for Wisby. And take your pick. Maybe it was Hartford that was closest to it as far as trying to get an interception, 4th down. And you do punt in this situation, you know, at your own 22. I mean, because if you give it up, you know, you've already then put Lakota West in just great field position. And again, pick your poison out at middle the field.
Can I take option C, maybe kick it to the sideline or something?
I think that may be the way to go.
Yeah.
On one side, you have Lloyd, who's returned one tonight for 75 yards, and then on the other side, Jair Brown, who's returned 2 punts this year. And we saw one of those last week, a 40-yarder against West Claremont. This one is a wounded duck out to the sideline, and that might be option 3.
Yep, I think they must have heard me up here because as a special team coordinator, trust me, I've been in those situations, too many times in the state championship game in 2013. We had a guy against Cleveland Glenville named Marshawn Lattimore who plays for the Saints.
He's pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good. So my strategy was we are squib kicking the ball the entire night. My defensive coordinator was not necessarily happy with me, but hey, so goes it. We ended up winning the state game, but nonetheless, that's what you got to do sometimes.
So that, how much of a wounded duck was that one? The net on that one is 8 yards.
But I'll say this, that is better than a block punt and better than a punt return for a touchdown.
I think we have a new quarterback in there and a new running back. It's Wilson into space. And he was a step away as he's brought down at the 20-yard line. Giovanni Wilson, the speedster, picks up 10 on that play.
I'll tell you what, he's got some wheels. I mean, the way he just turned the burners on right there, man. Whoo! That's what you need. That's what you want to see out of some of your younger guys like that.
5'9", 155 pounds, just a sophomore, averaging just over 8 yards a carry coming into this ball game. Nolan Parker, by the way, is the new quarterback. And now it's Wilson, and this time he's trapped in the backfield.
Yeah, that's a tough situation. You got to kind of tell them, hey, you got to keep your feet turning there, get north-south real quick. But again, good opportunity for these young guys to get in the game, get some playoff experience, right? That's huge that these guys are able to be in this type of situation in this big game and understand, the importance of this and get that Friday night feel, if you will, for them.
By the way, we see 30 in there at running back. Luis Gonzalez, 5'10", 200 pounds, a sophomore, and he's ran the ball 18 times for 56 yards and a score this year. We saw that score in the Hamilton game, in fact. 2nd and 12 on the loss of 2 by Wilson. And the give up the middle, and it's Gonzalez getting his first carry of the night for good yards right up the gut. So 2 versus 3 next week, and the 2 sites that we expect with the 4 remaining teams left will be the top 4 that you would imagine, right? The 2 versus 3 and then 1 versus 4. One is Moeller against the 4 seed, and that is Princeton.
Well, I can tell you right now, the game has gone final. It's the St. X 42, Elder 7. And
here's Wilson off the right side, and he just slides down, just rolling the clock a little bit, diving in front of Toto Luani, who we didn't get a chance to talk about tonight.
Yeah, and before we get to that, I just want to make one quick point about the locations, because the game that will decide possibly the location of where it's going, Princeton 30, Sycamore 21. That was a close football game for the duration. It still kind of is right now. They're in the 4th quarter.
So if Princeton goes on to win, and the 2 expected sites, as we talked about at halftime with Scott Kaufman, is Mason and Princeton. Princeton cannot play at home if they win.
Right.
They would play at Mason against number 1 Moeller, and the 2-3 game, this game against St. X, would be over at Princeton. Parker, the give. Actually, he'll keep, and he is dragged down for a loss. And it's, again, the defensive tackle, Nick Klink, on the stop.
And right now it looks like Moeller's going to take that game over Fairfield. So right now it's kind of shaping up, at least with if that Sycamore-Princeton score holds to be true, it'll be Princeton-Moeller, and then the big one, West versus X, over at Princeton.
So turnover on downs, by the way, on that last one. And, with 3:46 and counting left to go, I mean, you do just go for it instead of kicking a field goal. And that just makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. And, one of the biggest things, and this is something that, it's kind of some insider information about coaching is, you want to get these kids film. And that's the biggest thing. You want to get these guys on film on a Friday night. 1, so you can obviously critique them, but also 2, so they can see themselves out there and, see and gain confidence in themselves saying, hey, look, I was out on that field on Friday night in a OSSA football playoff game.
The give to Kopp. off left tackle. He is cut back in towards the hash and really nowhere to go, minimal yards there. So we've set up the scenario. And we did mention, by the way, Toto's name.
Yeah.
The two Luwani brothers are both sophomores, and yet both are not twins, by the way. Did you know that?
Yeah, very interesting.
So Toto's by age is 14 years old. He should be a freshman. But he's a bright kid and has moved up a year with his older brother, Tofa, who outweighs him by 55 pounds. Here's a run play on the end around, and good yards out there for Reese Davis. So, a little bit about the Luwanis. They're from the South Pacific island nation of Tonga. Tofa's given name is Sione. Toto's is Tongaloto. So I don't know where you get Tofa and Toto at. Now, for me, thinking about Toto, I'm thinking about the Wizard of Oz. I'm thinking about the band who sings Africa and Rosanna. 1st and 10 at the 30. More on the Luwanis here in just a second. 2 minutes left to go. The throw out to the far side. And I believe we have a new quarterback out there. We do, and that is Luke Barkamer, who's 6'1", 175 pounds, a sophomore. In the pass play, gained some yards and moved the chains. So they're from the island nation of Tonga. Are you familiar with anything or anybody from Tonga?
Well, my sister-in-law is from New Zealand, and if I'm not mistaken, that is relatively close in the South Pacific, if I'm not mistaken.
So the island nation of Tonga, I don't know what their chief export is, other than musicians. Here's Barkamer throwing out to the far side, complete, and again a couple of yards, and again the pass play gains a few. I say this because the Wolfgram family back in the 1980s had immigrated from Tonga to Minneapolis, and their eldest 8 children became the group known as the Jets.
Very interesting.
So if you're familiar with songs, and I see young faces here in the booth with me, but they had some big hits. Crush on You, Make It Real, You Got It All, and Rock It To You.
I'll tell you what, your mind is just filled with all those musical interludes, I should say. I love that, man.
Run play to Reese Davis, and they'll bring up 3rd down.
My music repertoire has gained so much just from being in the press box with you for the last 12 weeks, man. I'll tell you what. I know more now than I ever did before. I love it.
You're now going to go look up the Jets and start listening to them here
Exactly. On my way home right now, I'm loading up on Spotify.
And I don't know if we'll get one more play. They do come to the line with 10 seconds left to go. Barkamer with 20. Bryce Gordon in the backfield with them, and Barkamer to throw. Rolls right out of the pocket, chased. Looking to throw downfield, and rolls out of bounds. And Lakota West, you've got a date with St. Xavier next week. The final score tonight, 49-14, as they move on to the semifinals here in Region 4. Mercy.
Well, tell you what, you talk about a game of 2 halves. The first half for Lakota West, I don't know. I was honestly thinking, oh my goodness, this is going to be a very interesting game. But Coach Bolden had obviously a heck of a halftime speech for him. And I mean a heck of a one, because they came out a totally different team. Honestly, the first half team looked uncomfortable. They looked out of sync. They looked out of rhythm. And the second half was just the Lakota West we've always known. You know, you had Trent Lloyd making big plays, and I mean, just left, right, up, down. That second half was so impressive. I'm very impressed with Cam Good, the way he came out in that second half and performed. Just all-around great performance by Lakota West in the second half.
Milford ends its season at 7-5. Lakota West rolls on their 10th win in a row, 10-1 on the season. As we think about, and I'll try to give you a second on this, our play of the night, powered by Headlines Apparel. We had a bunch of big ones here tonight. Of course, that 75-yard punt return to really start the scoring in the third kind of captured my attention. What's your pick?
Honestly, that's exactly where I was going to go with it, was the 75-yard touchdown punt return from Trent Lloyd. And that really set the tone for that second half. From that point on, Lakota West didn't look back. They had the dagger in there at that point, and they put it right through them, right through Milford, and that's exactly what you wanted to see. But that is my play of the game. Trent Lloyd again does it, this time on special teams.
So that is our headlines play of the night, the 75-yard punt return for a touchdown by Trent Lloyd. One of 3 touchdowns he had tonight. He had 2 receiving from Mitch Bolden, then he had the punt return on special teams to really spark the third quarter scoring, and they really became a runaway train at that point.
Absolutely, and just so impressed with Lakota West. That's what you want to see at the top team in the state. Now they got the date that they wanted, man.
A third date inside of 2 years with St. X, the defending state champions. Final thoughts on this one?
You know, from start to finish, really Lakota West, they started off very, very fast, very, very quick with a quick 2-play touchdown drive to start the game off, but then Milford threw the kitchen sink at him. Hats off to Coach Grippa. I can tell that he's got this program headed in that right direction. They played very tough tonight, especially in that first half. Lakota West was uncomfortable. They didn't know what to do. Hats off to Coach Bolden. The talk that he gave at halftime really sparked this team. Trent Lloyd again all over the field. And now they got the St. X Bombers, man. I'll tell you what, this is going to be a really, really good game come next Friday night.
The date that everyone here has been looking forward to, 2 versus 3 in the Region 4 semifinals next week. Partner, was fun. We'll have to see if week number 13 is a lucky one for us.
Absolutely, man. Can't wait.
Super. And again, the final tonight, 49-14, the final. As Lakota West moves on, they are now 10-1 on the season. Thanks to our producer tonight, Zach Teeters, and our man capturing the video tonight, Jake Maish. And again, week 13 to next week, Lakota West will take on number 2 St. X, and we'll see where we're at, if it's there or if it's at another game. For my partner, Uncle Kev, Kevin Zilch, I'm Geoff Kim. Good night from Beckett Ridge.